Maybe's at the door. Hi, Maybe. Can we go out and say hi to Maybe? Are you going to do a little chirping for me, Maybe?
She's like, it's too scary.
I didn't know she was holding a treat. It's not the same. I thought she was just letting her touch her.
Well, I carry treats so much that she thinks I have treats all the time, so I think that does give her a little courage. Hi.
Good girl.
She is a good girl. She's like, I want a nibble on your face.
See you later.
Bye, you guys. Have a nice evening. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Hi. You should come in. You should come in and say hello to all the camera people. It's almost time for the break. I'm 1 minute away. And here we are having a bonding moment. Oh, hi, Poppy. Are you popping in? Are you popping in? Can I have a hug? Oh, thank you. Thank you for the hug. I love them. Hi, look at you. You're getting so bold. What a good girl. I don't know if the camera people probably can't see you, though. What is it, Poppy? What do you think I have? You think I have something for you? What are you doing, Flossie? You got something on your foot, Ski? You got something on your foot? Here, do you want to be Indiana so you can look like me? I don't know how to put it on you, though. Oh, there we go. Let's try it like this. No? You're not going to let me? All right, you guys. Did you kick your mother? That's not nice. All right, back it up. Okay, hi, everybody. Welcome to the Bray. Here I am with a few of the kids. And I have motivators in my pocket, so they're being nudgy, per usual. But I got an email from Carlene today. No, Poppy, no. I got an email from Carlene today that they are... Did you see that? What happened? Okay, so I got an email from Carlene today that they're actually going to come in and do the stone dust in here next week. Poppy, no. They're going to do the stone dust, no. That's a good girl. No. Good girl. So they're actually coming in next week to do the stone dust. She didn't give me any specifics. I don't know what day. I don't know any of that. So we're not gonna. I'm not gonna put any shavings down until they come, because this is gonna have to be stripped all the way down to the possible lowest layer. High pockets. So it's gonna be interesting. And so we'll have to put all the equine, including you guys, we're gonna have to put them all in the back barn. No and no. It's bad to have treats in your pocket and be in here. What do you think I have? I have nothing. But anyway, so they're going to come next week to do that. It's going to raise the floor like 6 to 7 inches, which will be great. I'll look taller. I'll be a lot taller next week. So that's happening, and a lot of puppy noise across the hall here. And what else is happening? I had 2 volunteers that I don't say interview, I met with this last week. And they're both going to be here on Saturday for training. So that'll be good. It'll be good to have extra hands because we're really kind of short right now. So it'll be nice. We'll have hopefully more coverage. Mamie is at the door, and she's like, she wants to come in, but she's like, I don't want to come in there. Those animals are crazy. And it was a beautiful week. It was nice to actually be able to sit outside for a little while and get some sun. That was really nice. And I do have a few questions or statements that people did send in. So I'm going to quickly go over those. Because I can't really, I ask for questions ahead of time just because I don't have really good Wi-Fi in here, or I don't have good signal. I don't have any Wi-Fi. I don't have any signal at all. And so I can't really do like a live tit-a-tat, you know. Sorry, I got like a donkey hair stuck on my lip. I can't really do like a live tit-a-tat with you know, real-time sort of questions. So it's best if I kind of, you know, ask ahead of time. So Geert was saying that she felt like the herd was, there was a, ugh, I hate that when I gotta get this hair. Who put the hair on my tongue? So anyway, Gert basically said she felt like the donkeys were overfed. They looked fat, or some of them. And she's right. We do have some equine that are a little heavy. Like even if you'll notice on Poppy, her crest is getting really fat. It's getting thicker. And so Carlene noticed it a few weeks ago, and it was back when no, Flossie, no. And she noticed it when no. Good girl. She noticed it when Romeo was here because I used to put, next to the hay trough is the little PVC half pipe where just the shorties, just the little kids can get in there. And so I was putting grain in for them. What'd you do to your nose? Nothing. I was putting grain in there for them, and Romeo was eating all of it. But it's pretty much established that really none of these guys need grain. So Mo is the only one getting grain, and I've been giving Maybe grain, just in case Maybe is a maybe. Maybe yes. And that's another topic I'll hit on here. So yeah, they are a little overweight. They certainly are. And so I think Gert suggested that we only feed them twice a day, but that's not really the prescribed manner of feeding donkeys, because donkeys thrive on a high cellulose diet and eating no, good girl, good girl, no. I'll take them out of my pocket and I'll chuck them in the trash. What do you think of that? And so they do better with the hay bags because they can only pull such a small amount out at a time. They can't just go gobble at a trough, you know, and just eat, like me at a Sunday buffet. So, so basically, this is the best way to do it. If they have access to hay all day long, but they have to work a little bit to get it, that's the most efficient and best way for their diet. There are some other suggestions that they have a more fiber diet, more straw as opposed to hay, things like that. But they really are on the right diet, and now that we aren't giving them grain, hopefully that'll make a difference. No. I'm trying to get all of the volunteers that work with the donkeys on the same page, but the most effective way to dissuade this sort of behavior with the nudging and hand grabbing and stuff like that is I have been reading a book and studying it like a maniac, it's no. Which the theory is that you basically train good behavior by using donkey cues. So I try to speak donkey body language with them. No. And it works really well with Flossie generally, but right now I've got a whole pocket full of treats because I was like, what if there's nobody in the barn? I'm gonna have to lure some kids in so you guys can see it. No, Flossie, no. And so, because that's what they do to each other. They'll stamp a foot, and even like from behind, I push them with my butt like they do to each other when they're like too close to me. I give them a little push, and they tolerate that well. They're used to that. They're accustomed to that. It's not me pushing them in a mean way. It's me just saying, can I have a little space? Poppy says no. No, good girl. Thank you. She moved over, didn't she? She moved over like a good girl. You're not the only good girl here. And but yeah, so I do this particular type of training that I try to simulate their own behavior, their own social cues that they give each other when you're in a boundary or else, or reaching a boundary or whatever the case may be. And it works pretty well. So I give a lot of foot stomps and no's, especially with Flossie, because I hand treat her, not past tense, so much with training. Now her inclination is that I have treats in hands, and so that behavior has to end. She doesn't bite, but she's always going, she's always trying to come up to your hands and see if there's treats in them, and it's a little off-putting and not really appropriate behavior. Huh, Flossie? And let's see. And I just have to say, though, too, I didn't get to see Carlene in her heyday when she was training equine. But watching Janine for 10 minutes on how she coerces the herd or an individual donkey or horse, whatever it may be, watching her for 10 minutes is a book in itself, because she really, she's been around her whole life. She has great instincts and just knows how to maneuver them. And so I wish I could be around Janine more in terms of watching her, especially with new and shy and high pockets equine that have not had any training at all, haven't really been very socialized with people. I would love to be able to see more of that, and because that's where you really get a lot from people that have already forged the path. You're just kind of following in their footsteps. But yeah, I don't think you can see this, but like Poppy, I'm not being rude about it, but her crest is a little thick. So in other words, yeah, girl needs to lose a couple of lbs. That's all I'm saying. Somebody asked, let's see, how reward driven are they, is what Boiler asked. And it's like, they're incredibly treat driven, but they also are very affection driven. Sometimes they just want you to be near you, and that's enough. But when it comes to training, I'm trying a variation of clicker training with Mavie and Flossie so far, and incorporating it with the rest of the herd, where I'm doing the clicking. You'll hear me doing it all the time with my good girls, and eventually that will take the place of a treat. They'll know that that's a reward. That's a good girl. I don't have to give them a treat every time they're doing something well. And so yeah, they're very treat motivated, as am I. And Jane asked if I have a new cat. I don't. Actually, both of my cats had pancreatitis at the same time. Hi, Flossie. Hi, Clover. Oh, Flossie's not gonna like this. Too many people vying for my attention. No. Flossie. No. But they're very, what was I saying? Oh, no, both of my cats have pancreatitis. Hi, Clover. And my vet was certain that it was the food that I was giving them, which was wellness in a can. And so she even wrote to the company and said 2 cases within a week's time, it has to be the food, and that's all that I was feeding them. So, of course the company denied it. They were like, well, we've had no other reports. But it's not uncommon for cats to get pancreatitis, so if, no, Clover, no. And so it's not uncommon for cats to get pancreatitis because there's really no known reason. So anyway, at this rate, I do not have a new cat, and both of my cats are rescues. One was found in Ipswich on Argilla Road, which is a road that goes out to the beach for anybody that's been here or gone out to the beach. It's a beautiful road, but there's a lot of coyotes. And somebody dumped a litter of kittens, and somebody got all of poor little Sydney's siblings. But and the other one was found in a guy who's an electrician who has like a shed with all of his stuff. Some mama cat found it and had kittens in there, so I took one of them. How much do you want treats? Should we guess, Clover? And then somebody asked a far more, you guys, no. I'd say no. Clover is so cute, though. Isn't Clover the best? And when they're out in the sun, and there's some mayhem going, so I'm just gonna step out of the way. When did you want to be on the Bray? You gotta look at the camera. Look up at the camera then. Almost. What's happening? Hi. Somebody asked a little bit more of an intense question for me, at least, and so I'll do my best to answer them. What have I learned from taking care of the herd? Let me just start by making the parallels between being a flight attendant and being a donkey herder. Huh? What do you think? What do you think, Josie? The difference is not too vastly different. They always think you have more treats and you're just holding out on them. And the herd, they're sweet and they're nudgy and they push me just like the passengers do. And I love them anyway, right? Everybody wants to put their nose in my pocket. It's not happening. It's not happening. I was worried about having to motivate them. But what have I learned from the herd? It's so much I've learned. This whole experience has taught me a great deal. Even on my best day with my best intentions and something falls apart, I get amazing support and extreme criticism. So I've got a group of people that no matter what I do, they are always supportive and kind, and I love it. Other people offer constructive criticism, which I thrive on constructive criticism. I am the most well-intentioned person you'll ever want to meet, and I'm an altruist. I always want to do what's best, not just for me, but for everybody, the herd, for the next person that has to come in the next day. I always do as much as I can, so their day's going to be a bit easier the next day. I always like coming in after I've been here because I always leave it well, even for myself, which is kind. And I learned that donkeys are far more affectionate and sweeter. Yeah, even look at you with your big thick neck. Yeah, we've got another weight issue right here with her thick neck. So anyway, we learn from each other. I'm learning how to motivate them more and keep them focused, which is tricky. How to refocus them. I've learned a lot. I mean, and it's quite amazing. They're super sweet, but I think I was telling you too that that on sunny days when the herd is all outside, and I'm kind of cold because it's a cold day and it's really chilly in the barn, and the donkeys are all out there sunning themselves, and I'm like, where's Clover? Because Clover absorbs so much heat, and she's the right height, so I can just come over and kind of hug her and just suck all that heat off of her. It's fun, and she doesn't seem to mind. Josie doesn't like it as much. She's a little shyer about me giving her the big hugs. There's some that enjoy my hugs, and some that just are like, yeah, you're crowding me a little bit. I'm too big for that affection nonsense. And it's been an amazing experience being here, and in the short time that I have been here, and relatively speaking, it's been incredibly short. The amount that I'm still able to learn is interesting. Yeah, you can still teach an old dog new tricks. I've learned so much. It's amazing. The amount of stuff that I've learned about these guys from reading, from being with them, and again from watching people like Janine that know their stuff. And really, I don't think people realize, Poppy, you're not leaving. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back up, back up, back up. You're not leaving. You're staying here with me. Almost had an escape artist. Poppy loves to escape. Any opportunity, if she sees a crack in the door, Poppy is pushing her way, or trying to push her way through it. Poppy, Poppy, Poppy. I'm talking to you. She's mad at me now. I just thwarted her adventure. But I've learned an incredible amount. And not only have I learned a lot about donkeys, you can't help but learn about yourself and the dynamics of all the people that I work with. Haley is amazing. I can't say enough about Haley. She's patient, she's kind. She's my go-to person for any time I ever need a hand, because she's always incredibly willing to help me with anything that I ask. Like, can you help me do this? And she's always like, before I can even say what it is, she's already saying yes and putting her coat on. And she's just so kind and patient. And I remember we were trying to get donkeys through the arena and into here. Like, they had to come from the back. And I'm trying to help, her and I are doing one at a time. And she's holding the lead. They're haltered up or not, doesn't matter. And she's talking gently to them, and she's telling them what a great job they're doing. And at that moment, I'm like pushing, trying to coerce them into doing what I've seen other people do that isn't very effective. And so Haley taught me this gentle approach with these guys is so winning. And even with Flossie doesn't, I think it's lines in the ground, it's all the periphery, it's all the things they're seeing. Her entering and exiting the barn is challenging, and we were trying to work on it today, but I got here early and there wasn't a lot to do. So I got done mucking really quickly, and so I couldn't get Flossie trained very much this morning because there were too many people coming and going with dogs. It was too disruptive to the STP daily norms, and so I need to do it at a different time of day because Megan showed up with all of her dogs, and so it was just kind of crazy. And then Judy and Carlene were trying to get Hoodsy and go do their adventure. So today was a little tricky because there was too much going on, too many distractions, and it's hard to keep her focused even if there aren't distractions. But she doesn't, I think it's the lines. We put a rubber mat, like right outside of the barn sliding door, and she'll get to that, and then there's a line, and then there's a threshold, and then there's another line, and then there's the pads in here with lines, and she just doesn't seem to get her to make that first step into the barn is the trickiest. And now we did yesterday, I think some of you might have seen, we just did laps. We did laps, entering and exiting the stalls, just because she would always do the same thing, kind of halt at the stall door, and that was the end of it. Like, I couldn't get her to go any further, and it always took, like, you know, a lot of patience of just standing there waiting for her to feel good about it, and then she would come in when she felt comfortable. Are you pushing me? What are you doing, Pockets? What is it? All right, I'm in your way, am I? Okay. Pockets told me something, but you'll give me something to lean on. Thank you. But she's doing really well with her training. I think you would agree. She's really making some progress, slowly but surely. And what else can I tell you about my experience here? Who loves kisses and who doesn't? Nobody likes kisses, but I give them anyway. Josie, do you want a kiss? Probably not. If I give them behind where they're like on their cheeks, I can get by with them a lot better than trying to kiss their noses. But of course that's what I do. Oh, you like that. Rub, 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 rub. And Carlene has actually tasked me with trying to train Poppy, and I gotta say I'm a little overwhelmed at the prospect of it because Poppy is pushy. She's bigger, so it's gonna be harder for me to control her. So she's giving me some time before I have to start. We're waiting for the weather to get nice. But I'm gonna attempt that. Also, I had read online that they love corrugated pipe, so I brought one in. But I don't like to leave new things unattended, and so if I'm not here long enough, it's not really on the ground long enough. Maybe's at the door. Hi, Maybe. Hi, do you hear me talking? Do you? You hear me talking? You know my voice, don't you? Maybe is so interested in me. I can't touch her, but I'm getting so close to her now. It's like it's getting closer. Pretty soon she's going to be getting kisses. She won't like that either, but she's going to get kisses too. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about the Poppy training. Simply because of her size, and she's still growing. She's not fully grown yet, and if she's even half mammoth, she's a big girl, and she's just so willful. She's so used to having her own way and kind of being a little pushy, that I think it's going to be a real challenge to exert my dominance over her. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm also nervous about that little challenge. I have to give a treat to Maybe. Or try and get her to come in. I'm going to try. Come on, Maybe. Come on. Come on, Maybe. Come on, girl. Stirring everybody up. Oh, you think they're all for you. You're not. Oh, no, what did I do? I made a mistake. You can't just treat one, can you? Oh, Poppy, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, Clover. That was a flossy move. That was a flossy move, little girl. But anyway, I didn't have any other questions from anybody today, huh, Pockets? Hi. I didn't have any other questions. No. And I really didn't have anything else to say. I mean, the big deal is really the whole stance, or no. Good girl. Sometimes they grab my clothes and pull, and I have to really get firm immediately because that's such bad behavior. No. You guys, no. Oh, maybe's back though. Copy. But anyway, thanks for tuning into the Bray, you guys. It was lovely sharing a bit of my adventure with you. And if you ever want to ask me questions, oh, here comes Mel. If you ever want to ask me questions at any time, and I'll just save them for the Bray as well, and that can be done. And I think that's it, honey. Thank you guys for all the support and encouragement you give me, and you're so gracious and kind to thank me for what I do, but I'm the lucky one who gets to do this. This is like I feel so fortunate to have this herd at my disposal whenever I want to show up. I get to spend time with them. Mo, no. That doesn't work with Mo. She's like, I'm a mule. No. And I'm a big girl. But I just want to thank you, and I appreciate all of you so much. I just always ask, always know that my intentions are always the best. And even if you don't agree with something I do, know that it's not for any other reason other than I think it's the best thing to do. And generally I've spoken to Carlene or somebody else about it too, and bopped opinions around. Sometimes you just act in the moment too, and you know, that's what you have, is that particular. No, Mo, no. You're being a nudge. You're being very nudgy. But thank you so much, you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. I will be back here. I'm not feeling my best today, but hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. Bye, everybody. Mo. You just take over. You're a star, and you're not leaving